Great. Okay, so we have an opportunity. RISE is together with a lot of brilliant project partners leading a demonstrator looking into textiles, focusing on sorting for reuse and recycling. There's a lot of projects and pilots ongoing already on the digital product passport and for the textiles, and that industry has been quite lean forward from start, looking into finding solutions. What we found out from working in other EU projects, it's that there is still things to do and a few gaps here and there in order to get started, especially for those brands that really wants to be a little bit ahead of time when it comes to implement the digital product passport. So let me see if I also can get my screen to work. The repetition a little bit on what we're focusing on is more or less practically test and demonstrate traceability in the textile value chain, similar to some of the other work packages as well. But here we'll really looking on also cooperate with other work packages in order to visualize this a little bit more and also look into how this actually work in reality. We will have a practical pilot for textile sorting in rescale environment, and I will tell you more a bit about it in a few minutes. And also we will test durability of data carriers. So it's a lot of focus on the data carriers for DPP, not so much on the data points, because and possible data points for textiles, that is also covered in a lot of other projects, and we can also now look into and follow a lot of standards and also information that we already got, but the data carriers we really would like to explore more. So the first focus is RFID or similar, in order to make sure we get an efficient sorting of textile waste. And we will also visualize how the data carrier can be used throughout the entire value chain together with the partners in the project. The textile for sorting for reuse and recycling is to develop a quality test and sustainability adapter RFID tagged prototype or other data carriers for seamless integration into textiles in order to enable tracking even after long usage. And here is where we also based the testing in our lab against. And then identify the contents of the textile, provide information regarding how the textiles can be reused or recycled. And the partners we have, I forgot to add this picture. I've been having it in some other, a lot of other presentations, but we have very mature brands and companies. We get a lot of support from SML as a label supplier, and they have also sent a lot of samples for us to start testing, and is also very deeply involved together with our team in Norrköping on the printed technologies and also the printed technologies arena in Norrköping. So we also have had meetings and a kickoff meeting in Norrköping in order to look into possible solutions for this. We have brands such as Asket, Filippa K, Axe Foundation, Helle Hansen, J. Lindeberg, Ted Bernhards as well. But we also, and also here we are going to test their samples of their key products. I will also explain that a little bit more in a minute. We also have the PLM supplier Delog and also Trace Systems involved. So it's a very broad group of partners, and very eager and engaged to find solutions to have data that also stays with the product for a long time. We also, at an early stage, made a map together with RISE and Printed Electronics in Norrköping, looking into what possible options we have for data carriers. And now as well, now when the standard has been released as well from CIS and CEN, we also will look into this a little bit more. What we are testing now is what is existing in order to make things happen, and also with brands that already wants to start and already wants to integrate in their products. I should say as well that most of the brands in this demo has already added QR codes on their products, so they're already quite engaged in this. They have RFID, but more on the hang tags for to inventory. But here now we're investigating a combination of different data carriers and see how they can last for a long time, and also that they really work for sorting in the end. We also will update this picture a little bit more, because there is a lot of innovation and new developments ongoing on different data carriers that could work for different types of products in the textile industry. Textile is so complex and depend on what type of product area, if it is in workwear or in fashion or in sportswear, or if it's close to skin products and so on. So it's a lot of things to consider here. So we have quite broad partners and brands, so we will investigate different types of products, but of course we cannot cover everything. But we will follow the development on what's going on here. So the status right now is that we have done a minimum quality requirement mapping for the products that are involved from the brands, and then also on the data carriers, and that is the framework for the durability test that we will do. We right now have 3 different RFID labels from SML, and it's been integrated in the samples from 5 of the brands in different ways, depending on their requirements and how they want it to look, and then also for the best function, and also when you wear the products. Then also it's been sent to testing at the RISE lab in Mölndal, and it's already started, and the first result will be ready in July. So we will be very open and share different results from this. The new RFID developments, if we have such, can then be tested in the autumn on samples. So we try to be quite adaptable and flexible to what's going on the market, but we also have a limitation in order to get it ready to finalize the project. We also do preparations for the sorting demo at Human Bridge right now. So there is a lot of fun work going on here. We don't want to disturb the daily business at Human Bridge with sorting too much, but we will build up a station here, and it's already ongoing. And then we also looking into a case study with the partners, which I also will tell you more around in a few minutes. So, and here we also cooperate with different work packages in the project, in the SwePass projects, because we cover and overlapping a few things, which I think is going to be very beneficial for this demo as well. So the quality testing is more or less a very rough picture, and we are quite hands-on in this project, but it's more or less to look into the different washes according to the standard and the ISO standards that's the normal for washing. But there is also abrasion test, a standard with the Martindale machines, but this is not going to be done in a proper way for the data carrier. So that's why we have to invent a little bit of a new way of testing the abrasion on the products. And we also have the maximum amount of washes is 100, and also we will do a random test, or more or less control test, after 25 washes, after 50 washes, and so on. And along the way we will test the data, the ID or the information from the RFID tags if they are still working. If they are not working, we will stop the test on that particular product and continue with others. So it's quite a lot of samples that's going to be tested, and we will test it wet in wet in order to make sure we can make this in time. So this is a little bit of an overview how this will work. Sorry for the bad picture here on the top, but it's a first view on some of the samples that we are testing together with SML, and knowing that they also develop new things along the way, but also what's existing today. And we now do looking on, we have read all the tags on the garments and the samples that's sent from all the brands. And then we do go into wash as many as we can. And then the operation test will, this is like the first pictures on how it will be done, because it's an opposite way on how you normally test the Martindale machine. So it's a little bit of exploring how this can be tested, and it's also going to be a challenge depending on, it's maybe easier on a t-shirt, or here as you see on the picture, a pant, but on a very sort of advanced outer jacket or workwear pants, it could be a little bit more tricky to get it into this machine. So, and then also we will do a test on tumble drying. So all of this will be summarized in results, and see how it's going to work. And also that the brands are very much involved in the whole process. And so we will, take pictures and do some kind of recording on it as well along the way. So the data flows as well. We have been looking into this together with the log and the brands, and mapping now the overview on where the data is required for the digital product passport. And also there was a request from the brands from the beginning also to understand how this will work, and where the data will be picked up, and also how to use the best data carrier on in the product. So this is not a ready pictures. It's more or less how we are mapping in order to have as a dashboard when we work in our work package. And also we have this picture to follow as well, to visualize on looking into repair, reuse, remake, recycle part, and how it's going to be circular again. So it's not going to look into too much on types of data points or all the other technical things that's already done in, for example, SwePass 2, but it's mainly on really hands-on on the products, and see how it will work, and how these data flows will be shown in the product. So more or less, we will also parallel in this textile demo do a case study, where the PLM supplier, the log, are very much involved to look into how their system are working, and as well how brands can add some of the information from the samples to the platform, with focus on the DPP. And then there is a test now together with the brand Ted Bernhard's, looking on their samples, and they are testing this system, and then also how we can follow these products along the way, and also ending up at Human Bridge in the end. But it's more or less looking into how the data will be kept and still be there after heavy use and washing in our demo. So that station, this is more or less a first picture from the sorting that they do on daily basis at Human Bridge. So the samples after testing will be sent, of course, with the samples that has still workable data carriers that you still can find the information. And will be a little bit back and forth, because maybe we need to send it back to the lab and do the additional tests. But we will build the station in August, and also something that we could easy takeaway and more or less a mobile solution, so it's not disturbing their daily business too much. And then we will have a huge, a little bit bigger project meeting in October where we will test all the samples and really be a lot hands-on with everybody involved in this demo to look into maybe find solutions as well, things that are not for sure will be things that will not be working. So we need to also at that meeting go through this type of things. So we also see that we could try out different ways on how to read the garments and how to add on tools and decision tools that we have from other projects and how this can be used together. But the main thing here is to really look on the data carriers and how they will work after the tests in the end. Yeah, so that is more or less it. And yeah, if you're interested to get to know more about this demo or getting involved in some way, you just yeah, contact me. So that's not a problem.